Let's talk about a really beautiful story today. It's one that offers a totally different way of looking at our most difficult emotions. We're going to follow a little deer named Pàpà, who learns that, our tears and our pain, they don't have to be things we just push away and hide. Actually, they can become our biggest source of strength.
So this is where we first meet Pàpà. He's in a moment of just deep sadness, crying in the arms of his guardian, Grandpa Ash. And like so many of us, he's probably learned that tears are something you're supposed to stop, something you move past as fast as you can. His heart is hurting, and he has no idea what to do with all that pain. But instead of telling him, hey, stop crying, Grandpa asks this question that just changes everything. What if tears could become the most fertile ash? And boom, that single idea reframes the whole experience of sadness. It's not an ending anymore. It's the start of something totally new.
And this gets us right to the heart of the story. This idea that we can do a kind of emotional alchemy. We can take the fire of our pain and actually turn it into something that nourishes us.
The key concept here is ashification. So in the story, big emotions, like sadness or anger, are like a fire. And what are we always taught to do? Put the fire out, right? Immediately. But ashification suggests no. Let that fire burn down naturally until it becomes this fine, nutrient-rich ash. That ash becomes a source of new life and new energy.
The story gives us these amazing metaphors for what's left over after the fire. Tears, well, they're the necessary release. The ash itself is that emotion, now settled and ready for growth. Then you have pot bottom ash, the gunk that seems worthless. That represents the hidden value in our failures, in our shame. And bamboo shavings ash is like a cool breeze that just blows away frustration and clears the air.
This quote just nails it, doesn't it? It's kind of a radical thought. Not all sadness needs to be fixed or just erased. Some of it has a purpose. It's actually meant to become the very soil from which we grow next.
Okay, so this is where the story gets even deeper, because Pàpà's journey doesn't just stop when he feels better. His own personal experience with pain, well, that becomes his greatest gift to other people. Because he walked through his own fire, Pàpà develops this kind of internal compass. His antlers start to glow with a gentle warmth whenever he's near someone else who's hurting. See, his past pain didn't make him weak. It made him sensitive. It made him a helper.
But, being the empathetic one comes with its own set of challenges. On the left, you see Pàpà. He's comforting his friends. He's there for them. But on the right, he learns a really tough lesson. You can't pour from an empty cup. He gets totally overwhelmed by everyone's needs, and his own energy just starts to drain away.
And that's the big takeaway right there. Empathy without boundaries, it just doesn't work. It's a one-way ticket to burnout. To really, truly care for other people, you have to learn how to protect and care for yourself first.
So to help him, Grandpa Ash gives him this incredibly practical tool, the protection circle. He draws a circle on the ground and sprinkles it with ash, the very ash from Pàpà's own past struggles. This circle becomes a physical symbol of a boundary. It's a safe space where Pàpà can just say, I need to rest now, and he doesn't have to feel guilty or explain himself.
This whole journey of self-care then leads Pàpà to face another feeling we all know so well, that deep, awful sting of failure and making mistakes.
I mean, we've all been there, right? That feeling when you pour your entire heart and soul into something, and nothing. It just falls flat. And you're left just wondering, was all that a total waste of my time and energy? And the story gives us such a beautiful answer to this. Using the metaphor of a garden, Grandpa Ash shows Pàpà that even when you don't see anything sprouting above the ground, there is still life happening underneath the surface. The seeds of our efforts, they're still there, gathering strength in the dark, just waiting for the right time to grow.
But okay, what about when it's not just a lack of results, but an actual active mistake? In a really key moment, Pàpà accidentally spills a whole urn of precious ash. This is ash collected from everyone's sadness and failures. He is absolutely devastated. He thinks he's ruined everything.
And this reframe from Grandpa Ash is just so powerful. He tells Pàpà that the heartache he's feeling isn't a sign that he's broken. It's a sign that he remembers how important that ash was. That regret becomes a teacher. It's what makes him more careful and more caring in the future. The mistake isn't the end. It's a memory that helps him grow.
So all of these lessons, they all come together in this final act, where Pàpà doesn't just manage his feelings anymore, he learns to actually wield them as a source of power.
Oh, I love this image. Pàpà isn't just sitting with his ash anymore. Look at him. He's kicking it up, he's dancing with it,
turning it into this swirling cape of golden light. What used to be this heavy burden of past pain and failure has now become dynamic. It's a source of movement and energy.
And that right there is the whole point of the story. Emotional maturity isn't about getting rid of the bad parts of your past. It's about learning how to integrate all of it, the joy, the tears, the successes, and the failures, into this one beautiful, powerful dance.
So Pàpà's journey gives us this really clear 4-step path. First, you have to acknowledge the fire, right? Let yourself feel the pain without rushing to put it out. Then, you let that experience become the soil for your empathy. Next, you embrace the ash. You accept the mistakes and the imperfections. And finally, you learn to dance with it all, turning your history into your power.
And that's really the thought I want to leave you with. What if all the stuff you've been through, all that ash you've collected in your life, what if it isn't something that's weighing you down? What if, just like Pàpà, you could learn to see it as this magnificent cloak, one that gives you warmth and wisdom and the power to move forward?